So today I want to tell you about our latest wheel hoe attachment that we just came out with. It's called the Wing Sweep. Now Planet Junior way back in the day had an attachment very similar to this, and it worked really well. So we kind of used that as a model to design and make ours. Now these things work very similarly to our cultivator teeth. And the way we make them is we actually take the cultivator tooth here and have it CNC welded to this blade here. And we put a nice sharp edge on it and powder coat it just like we do all of our other attachments. So because this is basically a cultivator tooth with a wider blade on it, it attaches to the wheel hoe just like the cultivator teeth do. The same bolt and nut we use for all of our other attachments, you can change it out easily with a 9/16 wrench. Now these have this blade on here like I mentioned, and we have these with a 4-inch blade width and a 6-inch blade width. And then it's got these wings on the side here, and the purpose of those wings is to not let any weeds slide by this blade as you're moving it through the soil. So it's going to take every weed that it runs into contact with, cut it off, and kind of flip it over on top of the soil so it can dry and die. So what makes these different than the cultivator teeth? Well, like I mentioned earlier, this has a much wider blade on it here, whether it be 4 or 6 inches. And this thing also bites down into the soil a little more than the cultivator teeth. So for you guys that have the really hard soils, or maybe you have some really heavy weed pressure, these things are going to bite down into the soil really well and help penetrate those hard soils and help also dig up and remove those big grassy weeds that give us a lot of trouble sometimes. Another great thing about these wing sweeps is because they attach like the cultivator teeth, there's tons of versatility as far as the different configurations that you can set up on the wheel hoe. You can use these on the single wheel hoe, on the double wheel hoe, or on the high arch wheel hoe. On the double and single wheel hoe, you can set these guys up with 2 in the front and 1 in the back there to give you a nice, 12 to 14 inch weeding path. Or you can use just one at a time if you just need a small 4-inch weeding swath or a 6-inch weeding swath. So tons of different things you can do there. And you can also set these guys up for what we call straddle weeding. And so using the double wheel hoe or the high arch wheel hoe, you can straddle a row of young plants and put one of these wing sweeps on each side of the toolbar and cultivate that row, both sides of the row, in one pass. And that works really well also. Now currently my favorite setup with these new wing sweeps is to take 2 6 inches and 1 4-inch and put those on the double wheel hoe. I'll put the 6-inch wing sweeps on the front of the wheel hoe and then put this 4-inch one in the middle on the back there. And that gives me a nice continuous weeding swath there. And like I said, these things are going to bite down into the soil really well and turn over those large weeds and keep any of those new weeds from growing any further. So I'll put a link in the description for these new wing sweeps here. Like I said, we've got them in a 4-inch wide blade and a 6-inch wide blade. And we sell them in sets of 2 and sets of 3 for each of those blade widths there. And these things here are some absolute bruisers. They're probably the strongest wheel hoe attachment we've ever made. And we're super excited with how they turned out. And we think you're really going to like them as well. And if you have any other questions about them, put those in the comments. We'll be glad to answer them for you. And if you like our products and want to see more of this kind of stuff, subscribe to our channel so you get those updates with all of our new videos that come out. We'll see you next time.